welcome to the Old Man Orange Podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And DC, for some reason, decides they just literally they're like, hey, you got $40 in your wallet, right? Well, guess what? You got 2 weeks to go get fucking movies. You know what I mean? And no, these aren't the movies that come to theaters. These are the DCU movies, so you better get out there. These movies aren't going to buy themselves.
You didn't know they're coming out? Yeah, we didn't know either. Shit. I don't even know where the fucking ad team's at. Do you know where they're at? I don't know which office it is. Fuck it. We'll just throw it out there and see what happens.
I really feel like the DCU, it's like, unless you like manually look these things up like on Amazon or something to figure out whenever they come out, like they do kind of like a terrible job. Like you might get lucky to know that there's a couple of them that kind of like, they give you like the sneak peek or whatever on each DVD, but like they used to give you like a more definitive date on there, and now they just say coming soon. Whenever the fuck we feel like it comes out. Fuck you. You're gonna buy it, fucking nerd. Oh. Yeah, that's right. You're
that dancing frog saying that shit.
Yeah, you're gonna walk into stores every Tuesday. You're gonna wonder why you're walking in every Tuesday, and then that one Tuesday you're gonna see that fucking movie there, and then you're gonna realize why you've been walking the stores that Tuesday, because it's fucking DCU. Yeah, throw down that fucking $20.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Yeah, Jesus fucking.
See you in 2 months.
You know.
Maybe sooner. We don't know. Maybe tomorrow. I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out.
Because now it's like, okay, before it seemed like, you had like 3, maybe at the maximum 4 movies a year or so, and now it's just like, I can't even tell you anymore. It's like, it's just willy-nilly, they just kind of come out, and this is just weird that they came out like literally like 1 week, and then another week, and then like, we'll start off with like the Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go or whatever. And this,
it seems like
this is a weird one. I have to say, the only way this movie was advertised was a post-credits of, in Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about that. I think they have... It feels weird because it seems like every other week there's like... not every other week, but like every month there's like some kind of DC movie coming out. Before, I think that they have their main team, and their main team used to put these movies out like every, year... Not every year, like 2 a year, maybe 3 a year. And then, I don't know, they were late on one. I think they were late on Dark Knight Returns or something. And then because of that, I think they had a chance to get caught up. So they've been putting out the other ones a little bit more frequently. But then they got this other team that does experimental stuff, like kind of quasi-kid stuff. Or just stuff that's like, it's a lot of the same people, but just a different kind of team. Like they'll have the Adam West Batman animated movies they're doing for a little while. Then they'll have like this Batman meets Scooby-Doo again. Or they'll do, like, revisiting something like Teen Titans, like the cartoon, like the cartoon Teen Titans, not the edgy DCU one. So it's just kind of, they're all kind of coming out whenever. So it's like, oh, that's already here? Okay. And it's just kind of like, they kind of blend together after a while. Like, is this one of the kid ones, or is this one of the more edgier? Oh, okay, this is PG-13, so all right.
Yeah, I mean, like, I always kind of look at them all kind of like under that same sort of banner, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, there's definitely some are like, yeah, more kid-friendly. Some of them are like kind of based off like the CW shows and so on. It's almost like, the best way to kind of say it's almost like how they make Call of Duty games, how like those Call of Duty games come out all the time, but I think it's, they got like 2 or 3 different teams that put them together or whatnot, and it's almost like that's how these sort of are. Like, they're all next to each other in the same office so they can share like executive producers and so on. And then you also get, every once in a while you get the weird like ones where like they have like an outside company make one, like the teenage. I think the Turtles one was an outside company, maybe not. I don't know.
I
Batman Ninja was. We know that for sure.
Oh fuck yeah.
But it's so weird how like sometimes they kind of go about these, because some of these movies they'll put like a good advertising into them. They'll put like the next one coming out. Here's a 10-minute special feature of like why this is fucking awesome and why you should buy it. And then there's other ones just like, yeah, that came out. Where'd you advertise that at? I don't know. We just...
I think so. I think Frank posted on his Facebook, like on his personal Facebook, and it got 10 likes, so good for Frank.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just kind of weird to go like, you spent $4 million making this video and you just kind of just released it, like, whatever. We'll see what happens.
Well, the weird thing is I almost find out from you or just looking up, like I'll have to type in, when is this coming out? And it'll say like, okay, I got a few months or whatever. But the fact that you don't know, because I know you are actually you sign up for like the email list and all that kind of stuff. So the fact that you don't know when it's coming out immediately says like, okay.
Well, it's funny because it's like, yeah, it's like that Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go. Like that never popped up on any of those Warner Brothers ones. Now the Wonder Woman one, I will say that did, and that's how I realized that one was coming out. Like literally like the next day, it's like, oh shit, I guess I got to get $20 out. And then, but like the Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go, as I said, like I only knew of that because at the end of Teen Titans Goes to the movies, they go like, oh, we have like this special like our worlds collide kind of thing, and then it's kind of like, oh, I guess they're doing a movie. It's like that's it. That's, you know what I mean? And like, and maybe that's like, okay, maybe something like Teen Titans Go, like maybe if you're watching Cartoon Network or something like that. Maybe they're playing ads on there. But you know what I mean? As a fucking adult, you're like, I need an adult way to get these advertisements across. You know what I mean? Like, you just think that, like, it would pop up on anything else like Warner Brothers / DC. It's just so weird. But, whatever. I guess that's beyond the point. I got the movie. I happened to hit a Tuesday. It was there. I bought it. You know what I mean? Like, so everything is all set and ready, and you know the P's and Q's are all together. I guess we don't have to worry too much about it because somehow, some way, their advertising ploy still works on the DC fans. But
of the two movies that we're going to review in today, I went out and bought one of them. The other I just rented just because I wanted to see first. Because I'll be honest, I was never really huge on the Teen Titans. There's the original show, and I didn't hate the original show, and oh, god damn it, one moment.
Fucking dog just barking off the just thinks he's got fucking authority.
I'll just be sweating my balls in here from now on. Anyway, so
Teen Titans.
Yeah, Teen Titans. I was never really huge on the original show, and not that I hated it or disliked it. It just I didn't really dig it too much. But it had good moments and good some good things here and there. And then there's the Teen Titans Go, and that one's kind of hit and miss with me. And it's not so to me, Teen Titans Go, and I know this might make you cringe for a second, but bear with me on this. To me, it kind of reminds me of Family Guy, and by that I mean there are some really funny jokes in there, and some stuff that's actually very quick-witted and really smart. And the fact that it's all DC is like, oh yeah, cool. That speaks to me, you know, because we're both huge DC fans. But then there's the jokes that just keep on throwing it out there, and there's a lot of that breaking the fourth wall, like, oh, why'd we sing that song? Just to fill time, you know. So, like, a lot of those kind of jokes, and it's not. I don't think Teen Titans Go is bad, but I think people are. I think what annoys me, one of the reasons why I'm like a little bit more like open to Teen Titans Go than Teen Titans is the fan basis. And this movie actually touches on that, because Teen Titans fans like they're ruining the show, and I'm thinking back on it, Teen Titans fans, I guess it came out when we were in high school.
Well, that's the thing. I want to bring that up real quick, because I think that's the reason why, like, because like when that show came out, we were sort of in high school, so it was kind of like a show made for 10-year-olds, and we were kind of like, Full Metal Alchemist, bro, like, what up? I watch adult cartoons now.
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, and then like that was also leaning really hard into the anime-ness of it all. And then out of that, you know, eventually you hear all like these, you know, people who are now probably in their late teens, early 20s, going, Teen Titans Go doesn't get it. It's ruining everything. And I'm just like, you know what? You know what also was out around the same time Teen Titans Titans? Justice League. And I was a little frustrated that Teen Titans were not done in the same style as Justice League, because I think that's way fucking cooler. So just that art style, you know, I mean, I would have loved to see a Teen Titans show done in that early 90s DC universe style.
Mm-hmm, exactly. I mean, I guess Young Justice is like the close one for that, but...
And that makes up for it. We have that now, but I'm thinking then what that would have been, and just kind of like up there with Superman, Batman, and Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, like the Teen Titan. When I heard Teen Titans, like, oh, that's cool. They're gonna do Teen Titans. Like, oh, it's this. Oh, okay. So hearing people all bitch and moan about, oh, they kidified it. Like, bitch, this shit was already really kiddie.
Yeah, because it's kind of fun. Because I actually went back and watched some of like the Teen Titans ones. Like one, they just had the episodes on like the Blu-ray, but then I was also just kind of watching some more on the DCU one. And it's like it is one of those ones like kind of go back and like, because it was one of those shows that like I would watch it if it was like kind of on, I would watch it, but I didn't like set my fucking calendar based on when Teen Titans was coming out. It wasn't one of those shows. It wasn't some of those or not I say terrible, but like I was looking at like terrible moments of like Adult Swim that like you based your entire life off of whatever time like a show came on and nothing else mattered except for that. That wasn't Teen Titans. Teen Titans was like, oh shit, we got half an hour to kill. Like, it's like the new Super Friends, I guess.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Well, it was also, I mean, there was, it's not like it all sucked and not like all the episodes are bad or all the moments are bad, because it has a lot of the same people from the other DC stuff working on it. So, naturally, some of that was bound to shine through, and there are moments where it did. It's just I think because I think the producers are leaning so hard on the anime-ness of it all and making it trying to be more kid-friendly. And I think the whole thing, like, was like...
Well, that's because they're like, Batman Beyond is fucking lost audiences. They all went towards the anime stuff. We gotta go fucking hardcore to the Japan.
Well, there's that. And then there's also this whole thing where they would really... I don't know. Tell me if you feel this. I've only maybe seen 10... or 11 episodes of Teen Titans, the original show, and that's a lot to. I think that's a. I mean, that's not the whole series, but I think it's enough to form an opinion on it. I feel like that the world, something was always off-putting me. The world it took place in always felt very empty, didn't it? It almost seemed like the only people that were there were the main characters and then whatever villain, and maybe there was a bystander going by to run away from a villain if some shit was going down. Did you ever feel that way?
It does have that feeling. That's definitely for sure. And it's also weird because that show has like the backgrounds are like way differently drawn than like all the characters. That's the other thing I thought, because I noticed that just in rewatching it. I'm like, those backgrounds have like such weird detail compared to like, it just doesn't match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like it doesn't look bad, but it's weird. It's noticeable. It's like, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah. So it's just one of the, and then plus, there's certain characters you knew from the comics, like, oh, this character's gonna be badass, and they, like, oh, that's how Sphinx looks. Okay. Oh, that's which Brother. I mean, I never liked Brother Blood. Like, that's a weird way to portray Brother Blood, but I guess you can't have him be all sacrificing people in blood or whatever. So okay, and then like Slade, they never called him Deathstroke. They just called him Slade. So. Oh
yeah, I guess that's true in there too. It is that kind of weird thing. Because it is that show that it is very cartoony. I think people just have sort of a different, like when they remember that show, I think they remember it sort of differently. I guess because, like, maybe as a 6-year-old kid, that show would seem so fucking edgy. You know what I mean? But, like, I guess when you're, like, a 15-year-old kid, you're like, not that fucking edgy. I had Batman the Animated Series. Shit, he fought a guy who was going against tax evasion. What do you got?
There's an episode where he was going against a guy who was like had like an insurance scam going using the Joker's likeness. So
yeah,
there's another one that was using there's another episode that was all based off rent control. So it was like, it's one of those things, like that show was a little bit, I mean, when you're a kid, maybe at the time you don't really give a shit. Like, is Batman punching somebody? That's good enough for me. But looking back on it, like, oh wow, these guys weren't writing something for kids. They were writing something appropriate enough for a kid to watch.
Yeah.
Where Teen Titans feels very much like a kid's show to me. And then I guess the more genuine, heartfelt moments or like wittier moments really shine through in that, just not to be a dick, but just because I think everything else is so like campy and over the top that when something does hit, it's just like, because it'll be a moment like, hey Raven, it's your birthday, I don't want to celebrate my birthday, we're having a fun wacky party, woo! And then all of a sudden Trigon comes by, Raven, you're gonna bring the apocalypse and you're gonna kill all your friends, the end. And so it's kind of I think that like those heavier moments would almost kind of like, oh wow, that caught me off guard, but it almost kind of makes you forget some of the bullshit.
Yeah, there's definitely that too. And I just think it is just one of those ones, like, because that's the thing, it's like at the end of the day, Teen Titans is a show made for like 10-year-olds. I mean, like, or pre-teens, like that kind of age range. It's not saying you can't watch it, but see, the thing about Batman is what made Batman so, I feel like he's like such an old person. Like, see, what made Batman so good is you could show that to your parents, and they were like, that's a damn respectable, good show. If you show Teen Titans to them, they'd be like, son, we were going to take the TV away from you, and we're going to have you stop doing drugs.
I kind of forgot that show came out in 2003. It's always like, God, was it that long ago? I guess it was.
I know, it's kind of weird. Now, this sounds even weirder, though. Like, I oddly like Teen Titans Go more than I like Teen Titans.
So do I. And I think it's just because it just embraces, like, it's fucking ridiculous.
I think it's that, and I think the fact it's got the hardcore, like, kind of DC, like, kind of jokes in there that I feel like that's what makes it kind of nice. Is like, you know, like the old DC fans, you could appreciate all that stuff. And even though it's got like a lot of the retarded stuff in there, I don't know what it is. It's just like every once in a while, it's like it's the perfect example of like if you need kind of like a somewhat retarded show, that's Teen Titans Go. You know what I mean? Like, and it really does remind me, like, it's totally a show made for people to get fucking high. Like that show, like there's no denying it, because there's some stuff in there you're watching, you're like, dude, this is what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know what it is. Like, I almost like just appreciate. Like, I love the Teen Titans Go, the movies. Like, I thought that thing was fantastic. You know, the handful of episodes and clips I've seen, I've always enjoyed. So it's just like that kind of stupid fun that I enjoy in a weird way. And maybe because it's just like, I know that's what it is. I think there's too many people that like, they assume that's like a pure, like, I mean, I guess it technically is like a continuation of Teen Titans. That's the weird part about it. Or I guess it's by this standard, by this movie, it's an Elseworlds story. So I guess maybe that fixes it all for those people. But I think that's sort of...
Well, yeah, because even Teen Titans Go to the movies, that's the first time they meet Slade, so...
Oh, I guess that's right. Yeah. So it is kind of its own thing and whatnot, but it's like, it's weird how people just like, they took it like it was a sequel. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just like Batman. We got multiple Batmans. We got Batman the Animated Series. We got The Batman. We got Batman the Brave and the Bold. We got Batman 66. I mean, you just after a while, you get used to it. Like, don't get so attached to one style, I don't think.
Yeah, well, also Teen Titans Go, the thing about that is, I think, yeah, there is a lot of dumb jokes, and I think I'm a little bit more in tune to it when certain episodes are hit and miss with me. I like the episodes that dive more into DC lore and jokes like that, but then their episodes are just kind of more random and all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think I like it more like in 10-minute chunks. When it's going into a full movie, that's where it gets a bit much for me. Because even Teen Titans Go to the movies, I liked it. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't see this in theaters. Just because I don't think it's a movie I really need to see in theaters. Because, maybe where I live, I have to go out of my way. I have to take a bus. Go, you know.
Like, I enjoyed the hell out of it in theaters. I was probably like one of the only people in there. Probably the only fucking adult. I can't remember if that was one of those movies. There was one movie I remember going into, and it was just like, I think it was like
one of the Lego movies.
No, that was what it was. It was us, and we were at the Lego movie, and that dad came in with his kids, and he did the old double take, like, wait a second, this can't be it. We must have stepped into the wrong movie. They're probably seeing Wolverine or something.
Like, all right, let's not go sit next to these kids. Or these guys. I don't know what they're doing in this Lego movie.
Yeah, what's these fucking 30-year-olds coming in to go see fucking Lego movie? They're not even the Lego movie, the Lego Ninjago movie.
But I think Teen Titans Go to the movies, even that one, I liked. I wasn't blown away by it. I thought some of the jokes got a little repetitive, but I liked a lot of the deep cut jokes they had, and I liked how abrupt and like how dark it got. Like the part where they're in the middle of singing like a song with a bear, that cat or bear or whatever that was voiced by that old pop star. I'm forgetting his name. Michael Bolton, and then they accidentally hit him in the road. Like, I think his dad's a cop. Run! They just leave him for dead. Like, the fact they throw that into a kid's show or a kid's movie. Like, I was like, oh my god, that took some balls. Even the way this movie ends, I'm like, okay, you guys, it's almost kind of like that show, not to the level of a Ren and Stimpy, but kind of like, it doesn't teach you great values, but it's meant to be like, yeah, don't be these guys, but it's funny, right? Or there's even the whole bit in, like, there's an episode where Robin lost to Kid Flash, and he's like, I'm gonna run a race. I'm gonna win a race against Kid Flash, and like he beats him, and like they're like, he's our new leader, and he's like, I challenge you again, and then right as the race starts, it's just a quick cut, like not even like a full motion, just a quick like flash cut of just him bash him in the side of the leg with his staff. And then he's like, he falls to the ground and he runs, and the team just like, oh, Robin won. They didn't give a shit that he cheated. They're just happy that he won. and Kid Flash, and they're crying, holding his ankle as they carry Robin off, playing this like victorious music. So it's a lot of that kind of humor I like.
And I think that's sort of like what wins me over sort of with the Teen Titans Go one. I know it's like you tell that to any of those like people that are just a handful of years younger than us, and they look at us like we're the fucking devil. But it's like, I don't know, that's the thing. It's like I give Teen Titans Go credit because like just for being something like completely different, and it like sort of works. Like I like having that weird comedy every once in a while to mix in with my DC. It's like those ones. It's like you're not mixing in with my serious show. You're giving me a comedy one. And lo and behold, I guess we get to this movie here where you get Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go. And it's predominantly more of like a Teen Titans Go movie that just kind of fuses into like the Teen Titans world.
I mean, there's barely. I mean, this isn't me trying to sound all like art schooly or film schooly about it, but it's barely really a story here. It's more of a one or two situations happen and kind of gives the characters an excuse to be in the same room and just act off each other and make jokes at each other's expense. Essentially, Ravens. There's the one time I think in this show, and like what I can see is they actually try to give a little bit of a story to Raven in this universe. They still have a joke every 5 seconds, but like her diamond is starting to shatter, which holds back her demon side, and because of that, it's this once it cracks, she won't be able to contain her demon any longer. And Trigun from their universe is working with Trigun from the original Teen Titans universe. Not the original, but the 2003 show universe, to basically get resurrected. And so the two of them can like fuse together and destroy the world or destroy the multiverse, essentially.
Yeah, so and that's pretty much the short and simple of it. And it's almost as like, I mean, it's the classic like two worlds collide kind of movie. Like another good example is like there's the other Ninja Turtles animated movie, Turtles Forever. And it's kind of like in that similar one where it's like you get the 2000s Ninja Turtles meet like the 1980s Ninja Turtles, and they kind of joke off each other. And it's almost like they do that thing where like in the Teen Titans when they do it as well too, where it's like they stretch it out like these shows are like actually way different from each other, but like when you kind of watch them, you're like, they're not that fucking different from each other, because like they make it out that like the Teen Titans 2003 ones, like you guys are so serious and edgy, and it's like, I don't know. When you watch that one, they're still fighting over fucking pizza and who's getting the video game controller, you know what I mean, and what they're going to do on the weekend.
Yeah, and they even, those things about it, I guess because the characters, when they want them to look cool, they could still look kind of cool, like Cyborg could still look stern and all that.
Yeah.
But then when they actually go, because eventually it does this whole, because what ends up happening is Ravens from both worlds get kidnapped by Trigon. So then the teams are essentially trying to figure out how they're going to save Raven, what they're going to do. And their answer is, well, apparently in a lot of the Teen Titan Go specials, they fight Santa Claus. So they have this whole Mission Impossible style break into the North Pole, which is really intense. And they like, well, Santa Claus has this this device that can jump between parallel worlds and all that. So we're going to use that. And from there, they end up going over to the Teen Titans, the 2003 Teen Titans world, where Raven and both Ravens are essentially, and out of that you just kind of get a lot of hijinks ensue, essentially.
Yeah, so you get a bunch of that, and then you just get, of course, them fighting each other, and, you know, no matter what, like, Robin can't get along. I like how they make the Ravens get along, but everybody else kind of has, like, their different ways they kind of go about being with each other. And then it learns out that Cyborg and Beast Boy and stuff like that, they're like, oh, you know, other guy's kind of cool. You can fucking hang out with it. I like how, like, no matter what, Robin just can't fucking have some other leader figure in there.
Starfire is always getting along with everybody, and I thought it was actually, when they start doing, the reason, the one thing that made this kind of like, Teen Titans was never that serious. The fact that both Teen Titans teams, they have two sing-along moments, and the fact that the 03 Teen Titans jump in and start singing and doing a hip-hop about why they're the same or why they're different and how they got to work together, which is supposed to be kind of tongue-in-cheek in itself. They even talked about, like, the reason you guys are still around is because you guys actually had good views. We didn't. It just shows like 2000. They show like a chart from like, you know, like 2003 to 2018. Like,
it's just like dropping down.
Yeah, like drastically. And oh God, what was the joke? There's one in there that, oh yeah, like Beast Boy, for instance, he's the Teen Titans Go Beast Boys are like, oh yeah, like Beast Boy always gets the ladies, and everyone's saying something to this point that rhymes, and then Beast Boy from 03 Teen Titans like, yeah, our Terra died, like nothing rhymed with it. It's like, oh my God, the song just continues on.
Yeah, so it's got good comedic moments in it and so on like that. I think what makes it, this is like almost like, I don't know, these are always how these like parallel kind of world movies kind of come together, which makes it kind of the coolest. Really the coolest part is once you start seeing like all the multiverse worlds kind of come together, and you see like, oh shit, they run into like Young Justice, and they pull out like the 80s like comic book characters, and then they start pulling random ass stuff out that like never existed. But
well, that's the thing. Most of the stuff that comes in, because they have all these different parallel worlds, most of them are stuff there just for a joke, because they make a joke early, like, you think there's a steampunk version of us? You think there's a mermaid version of us? You think, and like all the, like, no. Like, what you think the steampunks wear like top hats and like goggles on top of goggles? Like, maybe, I don't know. And sure enough, they go there. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so they have those roundabout jokes. But I think it's just like seeing kind of like almost like those like Marv Wolfman like type story characters in there and so on. I think it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. They have that kind of Teen Titans.
Yeah, I was hoping to see more of like they probably, that ending, the thing that probably really inspired them was Into the Spider-Verse as well as Avengers Endgame, because it literally does the thing where it's a portal and all the other, because the two Trigons fuse together, and there's the one Trigon who's trying to be serious, there's the other Trigon who's like, he's just basically kind of a dick dad, he's always wearing a sweater vest and all that, and that's the Teen Titans Go one. And Teen Titans Go Trigon eventually gets tired of being pushed around, so he like absorbs the other Trigon. They just come like, they have a whole joke. He's got 4 butts. What? Or he has like 2 butts, and you have 2 of everything. So that means you have 2 butts. You have 4 nipples.
Yeah, like those remind me of always like Ren and Stimpy jokes.
Yeah, when all the Beast Boys turn to piranhas, one of them like is like chewing on the nipple, and they focus on it for a while. It's all super detailed.
Yeah, it's like stupid things like that, but it's like it still makes me laugh. I don't care. It's retarded, but but yeah, it has that. Where it really like the Turtles Forever is like the one I always think of, because that kind of did it before all those other ones were sort of doing it as far as a movie goes, and. Yeah, just having all those worlds. And it's like the simplest thing you could pretty much do. It's just like literally just take something that people already like and then just combine a bunch of, variations of like those characters all together and have them fight a big battle. There you go. Sold. Mm-hmm. Movie.
Yeah, and even that though, because you don't get all, like as you said, it's mostly stuff they address in this movie and make up for the sake of jokes. The only official version, because you have Teen Titans cartoon, 03, Teen Titans Go, DCU, DC Animated Universe Teen Titans for a second, 80s comic book Teen Titans, and then everything else is just kind of like random. Like, oh look, there's anime Teen Titans that don't exist. There's black and white Steamboat Willie Teen Titans. There's so it's just one of those things. Like, okay, this way we can just bring it all. We could just. I think they could have pulled more from the well, like different artists' interpretations of the characters from the comics, or like maybe Jeff Johns' like early 2000s run from the comics, or maybe something from New 52.
Yeah, plus there's also like there's a lot of those like weird like 2000 style art like kind of comics too that you could have got that had like at least its own unique look. I mean, I know what they did. They traded out like that for jokes, but like I feel like the people that are here for this, I think would love to see just like any more snippets of like other types of like actual characters and so on.
Yeah, I was glad to see that they had the 80s style in there. That was cool.
Shit, they should have just put the Titans in like the live action one. Just have like one just like weird like live action scene for a second.
That would have been kind of funny. Yeah, I would have been up for that.
Because I remember like that the part where in Turtles Forever, I thought that was cool because they had the live action turtles in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even the 2006, 2007 animated movie in there for a second too. You saw that in the background.
Yep. So it's like I think that's just kind of cool that it's like they had all that stuff. So it's like I feel like they could have had a little bit more in there too, but whatever. Like as I said, like still seeing like the 80s Teen Titans, I think that in itself was cool. It's like I'd love to see a whole movie that like had like that style, like maybe not like the cutout, but like had that look of the Teen Titans. You know what I mean?
And it has a lot of the more self-aware jokes. Just kind of like there's the part where Teen Titans Go Robin's always trying to be super serious and be taken super seriously, but nobody really can. And he's trying to go back into the universe of like, because once they see the animated DCU Teen Titans, they're like, oh my god, dude, they make you guys, the 03 Titans, make you guys look like nothing. You guys are like the baby versions of them. Oh wow, we should just probably be like, yeah. They're all just kind of like, yeah, we get this a lot, kind of. And then like Robin's trying to sneak in there. It's like he stole like Nightwing's clothes that don't even fit him. She's like, okay guys, let's go back to your universe and have PG-13 adventures. And then that's where like that version of Dick Grayson holding a trash can lid over his dick just comes by, steals the costume, just walks through the portal.
I know, just exactly. It's like it's just trying to break through. But yeah.
Let's go have mature PG-13 adventures, I think he said.
But no, I think overall, like I still had a hell of a time with the movie, and it's still super fun. And I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. It's just a fun movie, you know. You throw it on, and it's just like you're gonna have a good time. There's laughs galore. You're gonna see some kind of cool stuff, and it's funny because you almost just see those conflicting fans. I even like how they even have like when they have that battle, there's like that fat guy up in the audience. It's just you can just tell the DC is like fuck these guys. Whereas like I was like, you ruined my childhood.
And he's wearing a My Little Pony shirt too.
Yeah, exactly. Because you just that when I saw that, I'm like, yep, that's how I feel about all those people that bitch about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I like how Teen Titans Go is like willing, like, yeah, fuck you. Like they'll make fun of themselves, but at the same time, we're like, dude, get the fuck over it. They kind of get that way after a while because people act as if 03 Teen Titans is like this amazing piece of art. Like, and again, it's important to some people, but it's like, dude, come on, look. I just kind of like. I remember when I was a kid. Just not to beat this up too much, but when I was a kid and Teen Titans was coming out, I was a little bit more like, not my Teen Titans. And then eventually I got older, like, oh, it wasn't for me. I had Justice League and all that. I liked that one more, Justice League Unlimited. And then now that people are like, that's not my Teen Titans. Like, yeah, well, I already kind of went through this. Teen Titans was taking space of Justice League at some point, or like was pulling like, you know, I don't know, not pulling funding away from Justice League, but I was like, well, that was something that could have been more like, you know, Justice League style, but was the stupid like wannabe anime thing. But
it kind of did because Teen Titans went for like 5 seasons and like Justice League Unlimited only went for 2.
Maybe it did. Because did Justice League did it go past Justice League Unlimited? Teen Titans Go?
I think so.
Yeah. So that was kind of that's how I felt at the time, because it was like, all right, well, that thing took from Justice League Unlimited probably, so I don't really, you know, so now it's your turn, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So just, I don't know, fucking enjoy everything. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. But well, DC blesses us with even more stuff, so we get Wonder Woman Bloodlines too at the same time. Like right, a week later, like fuck it, here you go, have another movie.
And I was surprised about this one because I initially, when they teased this thing, I'm like, okay, so it's just essentially a retelling of Wonder Woman's origin, but in the new DC animated universe. I'm like, oh no, that's just the opening. This is a whole new story. So it was not like, so I was like, okay, we're gonna rewatch it, but we're gonna rewatch her origin, but there's gonna be a few like other villains in here. It's like, oh no, this is actually something that takes place later in her career. Presently, they just have that opening just for people who didn't see the movie, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they just have that. The catch-up part. And I feel like they do it really good because it's like, it's over in like, you know, maybe 5 minutes. It's like, here you go, here's Wonder Woman, this is who she is, boop, 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 boop. Steve Trevor flies in, yeah, whatever, we're out of here. You know, and then it's kind of like, it builds up and it kind of goes through the years. And what I like about this a lot too is, I mean, like, granted, I kind of forgot about like, oh yeah, there's another Wonder Woman movie coming out. That's why this movie's trying to promote that next Wonder Woman movie for next year. But it's kind of nice to finally see a movie that was just like, oh, it's a standalone. I mean, like, it takes place in that Justice League universe, but it's not like Justice League, you know, Wonder Woman Bloodlines, you know what I mean? Like, I like how, like, everything in this movie is Wonder Woman. There's, like, you know what I mean? Like, if they have to have a battle with somebody, it's not going to be just any character, it's a Wonder Woman character. If she's going to go talk to somebody, it's a Wonder Woman character. It's, like, it's 100% Wonder Woman. And I think that's, like, I wish they almost did a little bit more of this. I mean, they do have Batman, but, well, yeah, she's Batman, you know, of course. But beyond that, though, like, very few other characters ever get that kind of treatment.
Yeah, it usually is. If they want to have a Flash movie, they got to have Batman or Superman in there too. If they want to have an Aquaman movie, they got to fit Batman or Superman in there. So the fact they're just like, you know what, Wonder Woman's big now, because I still like the original DC Wonder Woman, the animated Wonder Woman movie they did back in like 2005, 2006, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
I like that one more, but this one was still fun. This is like more of like, this is not like a bad thing. When I say this is like mid-range, I think just about all those DC Universe movies are all really good. There's only like 2 or 3 ones that are just like okay. This one, I'm talking about the main line of them, not like Teen Titans or something. I mean, like or they have Teen Titans Judas Contract, but I mean the main PG-13 line of these things. And only 2 or 3 of them are like okay. Everything else is pretty good. I think this one's probably more on the mid-range. Like, oh, this one's good. I like this one. It's a pretty good movie. It doesn't blow me away, but I was kind of glad to see them like sort of take a. Now it's probably a safer time to do it, but still kind of like take a chance on villains we haven't seen in one of these movies yet.
Yeah, like, I actually liked it probably more than that. Like, I would say it's actually a high-range movie for me, like, because maybe just because it was just that thing where it's like, it sounds so weird, but it's like almost like doing something kind of fresh was just like staying away from the Justice League almost, it seemed like, and just not having to like utilize Batman. Not like there's anything wrong with using Batman, but like that always feels like the crutch is having to like go for that. So the fact that like, oh, you can actually just use all these Wonder Woman characters and have all these kind of Wonder Woman characters that, one, haven't really seen a lot of light of the day, like especially like in animation or anything for a long while. That was just kind of cool in itself, and it just gives you like, especially if somebody didn't really know a whole lot about Wonder Woman, this movie's like almost like the perfect like, pass this to someone, they'll be pretty caught up.
Well, I was surprised that Cheetah and Giganta, I was assuming like, because those are probably the two bigger, more common characters that people know from Wonder Woman, even if you don't read the comics a whole lot. Like, oh yeah, those two, they were in the Super Friends cartoon, and they throw those two in Justice League Unlimited, and they also throw them in, you know, other DCU movies. They're just both muscle for like one scene. Everybody else, it's like, okay, well, we got Dr. Poison. She was in the movie, but to be honest, she wasn't really used a whole lot before the movie. And then you also had Silver Swan, who was maybe in a cartoon at some point, but not used frequently at all. And I didn't even realize that was her at first. I forgot that she had a whole relationship with Silver Swan. And then there is also, I didn't even know, there was like the hacker robot
Cyber.
lady. I don't even know who that is, so I'm assuming she's from the comics, but yeah.
Well, I'll say this: that the movie also doesn't really explain who she is really at all either. Too, it's like I feel like because that's the only thing about Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's always been that like series where like I always felt like, you know what, I'd love to read more Wonder Woman. Like I only have like one book or something like that, and beyond that, it's like that's it. It's just that kind of thing. It comes down. It's the classic comics thing. You only have so much time and money for so many books that there's certain characters you always want to like grab more of their stuff, and you just never get around to it. And that's how I felt about Wonder Woman. So like my knowledge is mostly based off of everything from Super Friends on up. You know, as far as like TV shows and movies, and Justice League stuff, and things like that.
Yeah, that's kind of how I mostly know Wonder Woman, just because it's usually whenever she pops in something else, or if there's like some big story arc that includes other characters coming in. So yeah, Cyber I didn't really know, but I knew just about everybody else from one thing or another.
Mm-hmm. And I like how this one's just like, at first it like starts off like once you get past like the origin section and so on, and Wonder Woman goes to America, and like I was just like, she's like, oh, we need a place to stay. Let's go stay at this archaeologist's house. They'll fucking like bend over for me. They're fucking archaeologists. They love anything Themyscira.
They're like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Clean the fucking house. Clean the fucking house. I don't give a shit. Turn down that fucking goth music.
Just like, Steve, get it. Like, watch this. Dude, we'll never have to pay fucking rent. It's gonna be great. Like, Diana comes in all nice and proud and proper and everything like that, but she's like, dude, I'm fucking playing a scam on these people. I'll be all, shit, here's the thing. She's gonna fucking die, and I'm the one gonna sell the fucking house and collect the profit.
You think she's gonna sell to her daughter? Fuck no.
No, you see that daughter? That daughter's a fucking shoes on the bed. Right there. That's already telling you that she's fucking up to no good.
Keep your eye on that little bitch. She's gonna turn into a supervillain one day, I know it.
Fucking know it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm keeping an eye on her. That's why I'm living right next door to her and busting in her room every once in a while. You know what I mean?
Every so often, you have to go walk by, knock something out of her hand, spill on the ground. Mom's like, who did that? And then I was like, she did it. Like, who's she gonna believe? A princess or a stupid fucking daughter?
Exactly. I do like how they do like I always feel like this is kind of like a stereotypical thing that like, I'm surprised they still do it this day and age, but you still see it every once in a while where it's like, oh, the daughter's starting to like not like being at home, so she's starting to rebel. She got the punk rock attitude, and it's like now she's up to like no good anymore.
Look out! Now she's got purple hair.
And it's always like, I feel like, I'm gonna say this, I think that like literally 90% of kids that fucking like choose some kind of music look don't do it based on like an emotional reaction. They do it because they're like, huh, the Sex Pistols look kind of cool. I guess I could be a Sex Pistol. You know what I mean? But they're not doing it like man, like my life fucking sucks. They're just like, huh, I want to be on stage playing guitar. Yeah, I guess that's what I gotta look like to do it.
I think that's just an old trope by this point, the whole troubled youth thing, because I think that was a holdover from like the 80s and part of the 90s. Now it's just kind of a common look. So I can kind of like, I could see parents like being like, now current parents being okay, whatever. He'll be out of this phase in like a week, because now it's like the whole punk. Now like a kid doing a whole punk rock thing, that seems so small. I mean, a parent would probably be more concerned about a kid looking like Tekashi 6ix9ine with like trying to like get face tattoos and grills and pink dreadlocks or some bullshit.
Well, yeah, probably a parent that sees a kid doing a punk rock, they're like, he's going classic rock. Way to go, son. Way to go, daughter. Look at you go. Oh, you're gonna play in a band and everything too with real guitars, not fucking Guitar Hero guitars.
Not a fucking laptop.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Like, you know what I mean? I think a parent would be excited about their kid dressing punk rock nowadays, I think.
Oh, good. He's listening to The Clash.
Yeah, he's got some real taste. You know what I mean? Where, like, you know, yeah, it's like those ones, like, I don't know, it's just, when I see it in this movie, it just always comes across, like, what was this made by, like, a 60-year-old fucking man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that, did fucking Dan Jurgens come in here to, like, write that scene?
I got something to say about the fucking youth. Like, no one let Dan near Facebook. We don't want him to let him. Not kids aren't on Facebook anymore. It's retired. It's actually a section for like senior citizens now. Don't let him go near Instagram. I mean, he probably throw the phone down and smash it. It's like, I don't trust it the second he sees it. But still, don't show him Instagram. You don't want him to see what the current generation is into.
It's only gonna make Dan angrier. He hates the youth. That's why he works in comics. But yeah, so it's like, it kind of has that, which is kind of like, it's always like kind of like, it just makes you kind of like, almost like, kind of like, that sort of like cringe, like, really? Oh, okay. Because really, I feel like probably that preppy look is the one you shouldn't trust as much. You know what I mean? Like, that look she started off with, she's up to no good, because you don't know what she's doing.
Yeah, and then as it goes on, because, you know, Diana, it just jumps ahead. Essentially, what brings Steve Trevor there in the first place is the events that kind of kick off, like Darkseid coming to Earth.
Yeah, like the first Justice League movie.
And fighting some parademons. So out of that, they end up... she's like, okay, well, let me go get accustomed to your guys' society over here. And then we see a montage of Wonder Woman living with this family, this archaeologist, and her daughter, Vanessa, who later becomes Silver Swan. And then we jump 5 years later, and she's like, she's Wonder Woman now. She's famous. She's what everybody thinks her to be. And she's like, oh, well, I haven't kept up with them in a whole lot, but I hope they're doing all well. And then all of a sudden, Vanessa's mom comes in, like, I knew it. It was all those goddamn Blink 182 albums. They made her do it in Sum 41.
Now she's out there.
She's got to fight for her right to party, but I didn't know it meant this.
Now she's out selling stolen tech to Cyber and, you know, I was at Dr. Fate, but not Dr. Fate, but fucking Dr. Poison.
Dr. Poison and Dr. Cybus.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
A lot of doctors. I don't know if they all really do have PhDs, but whatever.
Yeah, God, how fucking old is that Dr. Poison lady? Shit, like, should she be hanging around my daughter? She's like 103.
Yeah, we don't question it, but can you bring her back? Can you get her into some good music? Can you get her into some like classic rock? Introduce her to a nice boy.
Yeah, you know, or a nice girl. I'm open. You know, I know it's my daughter, you know, but still, she just needs something.
I was hoping for grandchildren, so you know.
You know,
but preferably, I'm just saying, it's not. Just find my fucking daughter.
Just find my fucking daughter, Diana. That's what we fucking brought you here for. That's why you live fucking rent free for like the last 10 years.
You owe me this.
And we let fucking Steve Trevor sleep here too, and he never washed his clothes once.
Don't think we didn't hear every other night.
Yeah. And that was him trying to work the washing machine. To this day, he just couldn't get it, but he for some reason thought that as a man, he could work any machine.
He's got a hammer, like, he just punched it, like, I'll Fonz this.
That's all I did. He stayed up late fucking watching 70s sitcom reruns.
They're like, you're putting a Fonz reference in this fucking thing? No one's gonna know who that is. Shut the fuck up, Dan. I'm just saying, I should shut the fuck up.
I mean, God, if you're gonna...
Jurgens at it again.
Yeah. You know, maybe...
I doubt he wrote this. Who wrote this?
It was a woman that wrote it.
Okay, well, those are still pretty
So-
good.
so-
We're
so was
making
it-
fun of the whole punk rock thing stereotype, but it's still a good movie.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like it doesn't really bring it down at all. It's just like a noticeable kind of like I just kind of like call those like those weird stereotypes that like for some reason like still kind of stick around. You know what I mean? That like that I just don't feel really exist. You know what I mean? As I said, like I think it's like if a kid's fucking dressed up like Mick Jagger, it's not like, oh shit, he's doing heroin. We better stop him. It's like, no, he probably just saw a Rolling Stones concert and wanted to look cool. God, you know what I mean? Like, why do you go to think the worst of him?
Why are his lips so big? Why are his lips so big? Is he injecting heroin in them? Is that how he does it?
And then suck a dick in the street for quarters by dogs. It's like, what's going on to my son? That's your daughter? Oh,
she cut her hair short.
oh shit! That's a daughter.
One of them buzz cuts.
Oh god. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like she has like that stupid like half-shaved cut. That, I don't know what it is. Like whenever you see that cut, I mean, even at the very end of the movie, there's like the fucking like blue magic that fucking heals stuff. I'm like, blue magic that heals stuff. Still couldn't heal that fucking stupid haircut.
Well, so they end up going. You find out that Vanessa has been like. She was working for some medical company for a while, and then fell into some debt, and was basically just looking. She was apparently obsessed with also finding, whatchamacallit, where's she from again? Paradise
Themyscira?
Island. What's it called?
Themyscira.
Yeah, she's trying to find Themyscira. So they're looking around. So she was, just eventually quit this company and started doing some back alley deals with Dr. Poison and Dr. Cyber. And then Wonder Woman gets in there. She's like, "Hey, you gotta stop this. Whatever, you fucked up my family." It's like, well, you kind of put your shoes on the bed, so don't act like you can start this shit. So,
Yeah, once you put the shoes on the bed, we all knew this is how. That's how you turn the fucking Silver Sable. Is you put fucking shoes on the bed, you're a supervillain.
I'm just saying, come on. And then from there, like a big shootout happens, a cool action scene happens, and then Vanessa's mom gets shot, and Vanessa is like in desperation, it's like, I don't know what to do. I have nothing to live for. And like, hey, we could turn you into a Silver Hawk lady thing. Cool.
That'd be so fucking punk rock.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. We'll just hop in the thing. Don't question it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, you could go for it. Yeah, trust the 103-year-old lady who, named Dr. Poison.
With a German accent.
Who still is carrying around World War I like veterans.
And who works for a lady who never shows her face and always speaks through an avatar thing and through an avatar like picture. Whenever she's in the room, she has a mask. Yeah, these people are totally trustworthy.
Yeah, she looks like she's related to fucking Cobra Commander or something. A trustworthy figure.
I just like to imagine her and like Cobra Commander at like at Thanksgiving dinner, like, "Hello, brother," and like, "Hello, sister." Pass the mashed potatoes. As wish.
Hey, sure nobody
How
sees
goes
it.
the sky and shit?
But from that point on, God, what happens next in that point?
And then from there, they're trying to figure out because they're gonna try and find Themyscira. We gotta try and beat them to it. Like, why don't you try to go to Them, because they think they can get Themyscirian tech essentially. That's what because she brought some artifact that it was linked to Themyscira somehow. She brought some kind of artifact and it was like a snake head thing. It was like a stone snake head thing.
Yeah, because the mom pretty much, that was her whole thing. She just like, I worked at Themyscira trying to find it my entire life and I get shot in the fucking back.
You dirty fucking bitch.
Yeah.
I blame some 41. Those no good dirty Canadians. They turned my daughter.
So they go in this search or whatever, and then
I think the first one leads to like a maze guarded by a minotaur.
Well, that's like a little bit later, because then I thought there was a part right before.
First one.
Maybe that is.
I don't remember.
Shit,
I'm not gonna lie. I watched this thing 2 days ago because I thought we were gonna do it yesterday, so it's not as fresh in my mind.
Yeah, well, whatever. There is the Minotaur, which I thought was kind of cool. They have that part in there, and so on. And of course, once like fucking Steve Trevor and like they got like pretty much Wonder Woman's like secretary.
Actually, they go to whatchamacallit, to there's the lady who runs a pharmaceutical company. Like, oh, you're surprisingly a good guy. Okay. And they go to her, and she's like, oh, yeah, you can check out our office. And it has all this stuff that she was looking for. And their secretary, Eddie Candy, is there with them. And she's like, hey, what if we're looking for this, wouldn't it make sense if it was, like, on the bottom of, like... Because if she's looking for this forever, it wouldn't be the stuff on the top, be in the bottom. And that's where I think it leads them to the idea of, like, wait, what if we go here to this maze thing that's guarded by a minotaur? Is that the first one, or is there something else that leads
I could have... No, there's something before that.
No, there's like... Is it like, actually, they go to Egypt or something? Is that what happens? They go to Egypt, and they fight Silver Swan for the first time, and they get the clue to go to the maze thing and fight the minotaur from there?
Yeah, exactly. Because the minotaur thing, I was like, that kind of came up a little bit towards the end. Yeah, they go to like that Egypt part, and that's where they first, I think, see Silver Sable and have a cool battle.
Silver Swan.
Or Silver Sable.
One of them's a ripoff of the other, probably.
Yeah, this fucking Silver Samurai shows up out of nowhere. Fucking, you know what I mean? It's just one of those movies. But, so they go there, have that cool battle scene and whatnot, and then, yeah, then as it goes on, well, the cool thing too is like she also gets the invisible jet too. It's like it's all these like small things that like, you know, all these like Wonder Woman stuff. It's like it's all in here. That's why I think it's kind of like it makes for a nice like catch up for anybody who has either one hasn't seen Wonder Woman for a long time and or like, hey, you need to jump in here explains kind of like everything a little bit other than fucking Cyber. I'm still kind of confused on that character.
Well, I feel like it's one of those things where they just kind of that it was kind of an apology. Like, look, we haven't done a Wonder Woman movie for a long time. We've done 45 Batman movies, about 30 Superman movies, about 40 Justice League movies, and then everybody else got like a little bit of something here and there. This is Wonder Woman apparently sells now, so yeah, here's an apology to Wonder Woman fans. Let's throw in some deep cut character. I mean, I'm not sure if people who read Wonder Woman, I'm not sure if these are deep cut characters, but they're some of them were characters like, oh yeah, that one, or I don't know that one. So you know.
Yeah, I think it's for the most part, it's like, you know, I mean, like, you're getting more characters than probably like almost any other like superhero DCU movie out there, other than like maybe a big old fat, you know, Justice League fest. Like as far as a single character one, like none of these ones have this many characters in it. That's what makes it kind of impressive.
And usually, if there is a Wonder Woman movie, it's usually she's battling or something with Wonder Woman. She's usually battling Ares or Hades or Cheetah or Giganta, which she does fight Cheetah and Giganta. But it's only for a moment. It's just like some familiarity for you.
Yeah, just to have cool action scenes and kind of use them as like hired guns. But I guess for this point, yeah, then they do go to like that Minotaur section or whatever, and it's like that classic Greek tale or whatever where the Minotaur's guarding the maze and whatnot. And I love how like Steve Trevor and like the secretary lady like fucking just like oh,
they have something to do.
They're like, well, they do give Steve Trevor a lot to do in this one. I kind of like how they just make Steve Trevor like commando, just like he's just there to like shoot guns and fucking party and drive
throw
a jet.
one-liners.
Yeah, and throw kind of one-liners that are always kind of like, oh, okay, but it still works. But like they just literally just have that Minotaur just like charge through the maze. I'm like, that's like, isn't that like cheating to go through there? It's like through the wall. I mean, I guess they're like, well, we don't want to have them like that. That'd be an extra 20 minutes of animation if we wanted to do that. So. You know,
that's probably one of those things. Somebody was writing that, and then like the storyboard artist and animators like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Wait, I got an idea.
Be like, yo, we're already throwing a 20-minute Neil Gaiman movie also on this thing too. We can't have the fucking 20-minute Minotaur scene either. You know, so let's just get this. Here we go. Fucking Steve Trevor like Super Mario's fucking off the Minotaur, and then he just fucking charges through the wall. Yeah, how is the secretary Super Mario off there too? Well, she is kind of fat, so it makes sense. I mean, I'm kind of getting it there.
She does Pilates.
Yeah, she's one of those like she's like one of those very like athletic kind of fat ladies. So somehow, some way, she just continuously she can run as fast as Steve Trevor. How does it work? I don't know. Maybe she has superpowers. I don't know. It's a fucking Wonder Woman movie. Go fuck yourself. Go work on that.
You want to see the next scene or not?
Shit, yeah. And then whatever. So they get there. And I like how like Wonder Woman like, you know, she uses like that because they find like that center of the maze or whatever, and she drinks like the fucking like, you know, from the veil or whatnot, and it's like, oh, okay, I kind of got an idea where Themyscira is. Not really, but
I got these visions.
I saw these fish in my head. You know what I mean? I feel like we need to go on a fishing trip. Oh wait, no, wait, hold on. If we cross-reference these fishes together, we can figure out where Themyscira is.
Yeah, and then there's a whole thing. That's one of those things like this thing will tell you where it's at. Awesome, then drink it. Like, all right, I saw like a little miniature David Lynch movie. I saw a fucking snake. I saw blood go against the thing and some fish. All right, that's what I have to work with. Fucking awesome. I went through all this fucking shit to drink some water that tasted like fucking piss. And you mean to
Minotaur
tell me
piss?
I
Like,
still
where else
got
do
to
you
do
think he's pissing?
Yeah, and I still got to do this. I still got to figure out this fucking Riddler puzzle. Fuck this.
Yeah, exactly. And then she fucking like, captures the fucking Minotaur guy and puts him at fucking. Really, Wonder Woman just finds ways to get him like rent free of all kinds of stuff. She's like, I live rent free. I got a fucking secretary that does more than my secretary work for me, and I got a fucking butler now that's a Minotaur. Fuck you, Alfred.
She's like, I'm wanting up that I'm wanting you up, Bruce. You fucking bitch. Look out.
Yeah. Because there's that part, because I thought like the Minotaur was like, oh, he's gonna come back, he's gonna fucking like save the day or something like that. So I was like, oh no, he's fucking making salad.
Which that's kind of funny. I would like to see that Minotaur running around like, oh, I got machine guns and shit now.
Yeah, well that's what I thought. Like, dude, that sounds just so badass. Like a Minotaur just fucking like charged around with like Wonder Woman and so on. Maybe he'll come back again. Maybe they'll do like a Wonder Woman 2 movie.
It wouldn't surprise me the least bit if that's in the comics. Maybe just in this, but I wouldn't surprise me if she has a Minotaur in her like mansion or something like that, or in her apartment.
Yeah, I can see that, because that character felt like that was something. It wasn't just the Greek myth character. It was like, oh, that felt like there was something more to this.
And I'm not gonna lie, for a while they're teasing like, we just need to get this thing, and then it'll be ready to unleash on Themyscira. And then they're like, what's this thing? What's this thing? And I felt like I'm trying to narrow down, like, God, what could it be? Because I don't know Wonder Woman that well, but I'm trying to think of what it could be. And then when you find out that once Wonder Woman realizes where it's at, that Dr. Cyber or whatever was in the system, like, I was here the whole time, and they're doing this over at Veronica Cale's office. And from there, she's like, I know where it is now. Thank you, Diana. You will all die now. And she hacks everything, and then they all break out of there at the last minute, because it's like, this is a place where we have highly contagious diseases, so this whole floor is going to get obliterated here in a second, but they trip the sensors to say that we're not here, so we got to get the fuck out of here now. And I want to say that Diana's having a fight with somebody. I don't know, she rescues the first couple and then saves Steve Trevor last minute, then has a fight with Silver Swan.
Yeah, exactly. And then the whole thing is she's like, the only way we're going to be able to fix Silver Swan is to take her, because they realize that, like, oh, this, like, it's not just like she has fucking like cyborg parts put on her. It's like the things like, it's like
cyborg cancer.
It's like fusing with like her cells, and she's becoming, the machine. I mean, I don't know. It's almost like kind of the way that like Archangel is, I guess, something in X-Men. But she's like, the only way we could save is if we go to like, we find the the blue purple ray, whatever, of healing magic, at my hometown.
Which they introduced at the very beginning, which it's kind of. It's a very simple joke, but it was kind of funny, like because Steve Trevor is all fucked up from like crashing, and he's all burnt, and they're healing him. And she's like, "Oh, what is this thing? A purple ray of healing magic. What do you call it? Purple ray of healing magic." Like, oh, okay, it's easy to remember.
Don't be fucking. She has that like kind of like attitude, like, don't be fucking stupid. That's what it is. She's like, oh. Yeah. Instead, later on, just Steve's got his fucking dick like in it and so on. Be like, Steve, what are you doing?
I had a party. I had this one real crazy party back in '94, trying to see if this can fix it. You wouldn't understand.
Well, shit. When I was fighting that
it was a bachelor party. It was in Vegas.
Literally, one of those creatures popped up right at my crotch in my jet right when I was coming down. I didn't know what he had. He's fucking shooting out flames out of his mouth.
I know. I have fire aids.
Apocalypse aids. You know how dirty they are over there in space. Oh, you never left your. Oh. You don't know there's even space out there? Oh, okay.
Oh, this is going to be an education the next couple of days. It's going to be a long boat ride.
Yeah, this boat's not going that fast anyways.
For having such high-tech technology and healing and all that kind of shit, I'm surprised you don't know what the fuck a motor is.
Yeah, shit. We got a fucking little globe here. It's like the only technology that makes it different from like a boat from like this, 1600s.
Just saying. But so moving forward, they end up like realizing, okay, types of fish are able to narrow down, like you said, where Themyscira is. And this part, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, maybe it's meant. I'm not sure how big of a character Dr. Cyber is meant to be, But Dr. Cyber and Dr. Poison get there like, we are going to destroy Themyscira and take their technology. And the ship gets there, starts firing shots off. All the Amazons like, oh, really, motherfucker? Like, you think, like, you don't get a chance to see how far it would go. But you see this little dinky-ass ship. And they release the thing that's been inside this box the whole time. They're like, okay, this is what's going to take everything down. They foreshadowed it earlier. Like, oh, look, they were trying to... Oh, this character was real in Greek mythology? Yeah, it was real. Was this real? Yep, that's real. And it comes out, turns out they revised Medusa.
Yeah, and it's like cybernetic Medusa now, you know, by fucking Dr. Poison and so on. And they're like, okay, let's go. The second that Medusa's out, like, fucking just turns on him in like 2 seconds.
It's so easy, and then Medusa, like, injects herself with Gigantis serum, and then she's like, guess what's up? And she starts, like, killing all these Amazons, turning them into stone, and then, like, crushing them, and just going to fucking town.
Like a fucking Godzilla, like, villain, right, on Themyscira.
And that's where, this is something they did early on. They first show Wonder Woman in her old school, kind of warrior-style outfit, and then later she comes in like, the more... less kind of bombastic version of the outfit that she's been in these DC Universe movies, which they still looks like Wonder Woman, but looks a little bit more kind of like, I guess,
like kind of like cheerleader Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it looks more cheerleader than actual like Wonder Woman to me. But then she comes back to Themyscira, she's wearing the OG outfit. Like, oh, okay, cool, that one looks way cooler.
Yeah, because that's all I kind of feel like. That's the only thing about those DCU ones. It's like I felt like they wanted to do something kind of different. They kind of, maybe it was even with the new 52, kind of looked like, we're going to change Wonder Woman up. And then, like, they kind of like, shit, we're kind of stuck with this look. You know what I mean? But maybe, like, after this movie, they can kind of go, you know what, let's just, let's minus out the cheerleader outfit and just get her back to her normal outfit. Because, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what we all want to see.
Yeah. And then she has this big, long fight with Medusa that's pretty awesome. And it's like, you know, kaiju Medusa. And it has this whole moment where Silver Swan realizes in the fight that, like, because she's getting weakened and all that, and she realizes that Wonder Woman's there to help her and save her, and then her mother, who she had a falling out with, but Wonder Woman and her mother, Queen Apalpha, see that, oh, wait, she actually... maybe she had a point, and she's willing to die for her country, even though we banished her for helping that set of dick and balls that landed here 5 years ago. So
yeah, first fucking dick that lands on the fucking like thing, she takes off in 2 seconds.
It's just like, that's all it took. I thought it was going to be I thought that maybe because, you know, we were living on an island, I'd have to worry about a guy in a motorcycle rolling in like, yo, what's up, babe? But apparently a guy in a jet was the next thing.
Yeah, shit. It wasn't even fucking 12 hours before she was out of here.
I just imagine, just like, you know, she's on her front porch with her mom, all of a sudden, just like this, like, fucking jet lands down the street, like, vroom, vroom.
Fucking just like honking the horn. Just honking the horn on the fucking jet.
Babe, let's go! Like, I'm sorry, Mom, I gotta go. Like, he's such an asshole. Why do you date him? He's really nice once you get to know him. Bitch, let's fucking go already! Like, I'm coming!
Fucking hate your mom.
The jet does a wheelie and takes off down the street.
Fucking just does like a fucking donut burnout, like, right in their fucking front yard. Goes off.
That was some roadhead.
Just fucking throws condoms out the window at the mom.
Fucking lands down right on her fucking petunias. She just got done gardening.
like little caps.
Yeah, but anyway, so they end up having their big battle. And it actually goes on, like, you know, you always know Wonder Woman's a badass, but you see, because, you know, she's giant, so whenever she gets close to her, like, the snakes in her hair, like, wrap around her and bite into her, so you see she's getting all, like, mangled and bloody and all that. And then and she's like, you know, you have to look at me eventually. Eventually you have to look at me, and she can mind control her to look at her in the eyes. So she literally cuts off one of the snake's heads, like, all right, well, I can look at you, but guess what's going to happen? And she sprays the venom into her own eyes. Like, oh man, that is fucking hard.
Yeah.
And then she just goes at it. She's fighting her blind. I think, because I like this movie, but the very end battle with her and Medusa really, like, made me like it a lot more.
Yeah, no, that battle right there is probably one of the best DCU ones they've ever kind of had.
like that's one of those scenes like, okay, here's one of the reasons why Wonder Woman can go head to head with someone like Superman or someone like Green Lantern or Darkseid, because she's willing to go that crazy distance. Like, I'm willing to fucking lose my vision. I mean, granted, they have the magical healing ray.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's like, I'm willing to fucking lose my vision to beat the fuck out of this giant reptile bitch.
Exactly, and to fucking prove the point that I still don't have to fucking pay rent to that lady's mom over there.
Yeah. I'm gonna act like I love her and I care. I'm gonna hug her, and then like once all this is done, I'm gonna hug her. I'm gonna whisper in her ear like, "I'm moving in tomorrow."
And I already sold the old house.
Me. She left it all to me.
But yeah, just that big battle ensues, and then of course, Wonder Woman wins and everything like that, and then fucking what's her face decides like, oh, Wonder Woman's okay again. You know what? I guess we could be family or something stupid. So she gets fucking healed by the purple healing ray thing. Everybody does.
Silver Swan's kind of whatever. But it's like it's a small thing compared to everything else in the movie.
Oh yeah, it doesn't really bother me, but it's just like that character just kind of seems like the whiner character that like really like has nothing. There's nothing fucking wrong going on for that character whatsoever, but that character finds everything bad in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's that character that like literally probably lives like a fucking fantastic life, like no problems whatsoever. But somehow, some way, she has to find every little thing that like pisses her off and like turn her into a supervillain,
And then Etta Candy has she scored. She's like, because
I'm gonna get fucked tonight. I'm gonna bang all these chicks here.
Well, the thing with her is she has like she makes a passing joke about like, man, I hope they like. She says like a island of Amazon warriors. I hope they like them thick. And then when she gets there, it's like, oh wow, they're not used to this. They're all like bodybuilders, so they're not used to dating a fat chick. So they're all into me.
Yeah, they've never met a woman that lives off donuts. I'm a secretary. That's what it is. I know she's just like she's just like collective. Like she's like, shit. Fucking Steve came here. Fucking 12 hours later, he gets a fucking chick. This is the only place I gotta go. I've been looking my whole life for this.
So yeah, she has like 2 chicks hanging on her, like when they're at the like doing the whole like A New Hope award ceremony, like da 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 da, putting on the medal. She's there, and then you have Vanessa like in like Amazon attire off in the distance, like, I'm trying to find myself. Okay, cool. There's a reason you're not part of the ceremony, so stay the fuck over there.
yeah, get away. It's that stupid fucking haircut. We don't want that in the photo. That's gonna go into like history.
You can wave, but don't come. You stay there. That's great. Thank you. Steve, let's go.
Let's go, Steve. We there's somebody we gotta talk to. Post credits.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to say that. I can see that being a Deadpool thing. Like, I guess we'll find out after the credits. Then just goes to credits or something like that. That really sounds like something they got to do like a next Deadpool movie.
I think
Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, Teen Titans Go could do that too as well.
And then you find out that Veronica Cale, the lady who was the super rich, powerful. Pharmaceutical
the lady that seemed like such a super villain this whole time, like literally I thought this whole way, I'm like, that's got to be Cyber, that's who Cyber is, and it's like, oh, I guess that's still not Cyber.
Cyber worked for her. I'm like, oh, okay. I was actually kind of, for a minute, I was like impressed with the movie, like, God, you took like someone who would so easily be like a villain and made him a good guy. That's surprising. And then watch like, oh yeah, she was the bad guy. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I almost would have gave it more credit if that wasn't a bad guy, because it is kind of like that character had like super villain written all over it, and for some reason Wonder Woman's just so trustworthy. You know what I mean?
And it's not like she was sitting there rubbing her hands together. I'm just saying the idea of like a pharmaceutical CEO, like a someone who runs, like, those people are usually pretty fucking evil. So it's one of those things like, I'm surprised you made that choice. But I guess at the time, though, when you had someone like Tony Stark in the 60s as a main character, that was kind of a ballsy choice. Like, this guy, the idea was, well, usually this guy would be a villain. Let's see if we can make him a hero. Now, I guess was interesting about him. But this character is just like, oh, nope, was a villain the whole time. And then It's also one of those things where every so often you see a villain who's kind of like Lex Luthor-ish. Like, they don't have like that same physical strength as the hero, but they're so cunning and smart and quick-witted, you like them. And this lady is just like, fuck off, just because she's like, guess what? I know where they all live, and I'm gonna find them. Like, yeah, how'd that pan out? Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, do you have super strength? Oh, you don't? I do. Oh, also, here's a fucking sword. Slam. Make your move, bitch. Make your fucking move. Yeah, that's what I thought. Fuck you. Credits.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those ones where it's like, there's nothing threatening about this girl towards like Wonder Woman. You know what I mean?
And she's like, I'll stop you, Wonder Woman. I'll stop you. Like, okay.
Just it should have like just ended in like some kind of scene where just Wonder Woman just fucking just grabs her, just like no music, just like slow punching her in the fucking face as she's screaming. Just got her by like the fucking collar, just over and over, and it's like a long shot. Like you just see it like over the fucking desk, slowly panning back.
Are you talking about like what like Brad Pitt does to Dakota Fanning in like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, just slamming her face against like a brick wall?
Maybe not like so intently, but like one of those ones, just like more just like one of those ones like. Wonder Woman's all calm and collective. It's just fucking just beating the fucking shit out of this lady, just like because.
Like you don't see her face like, changing at all. Like it's almost like
you
she
see
could
it
just
from
be
the
doing
back.
her laundry right now.
Yeah, you see it like over the like almost kind of like the backside of Wonder Woman. And it's like a far shot, like from that desk, kind of panning outside of the room.
Like it's down from the hallway.
Yeah, exactly. Like a long shot, like somebody almost looking in at this, and all you just hear is just like that lady screaming and punch sounds.
It's just like. Or it's just like it just holds in that shot like it's a single one shot and just Wonder Woman saying this shit and smacks her down, and then from there it just holds for like 2 whole minutes and then like God that was, and then she just like you just hear like like breathing. Wonder Woman just walks out, just like maybe grabs like a mint from the desk or something, just flies out the window, just holds to see her legs still kind of like twitching lightly from behind the desk. People are gonna talk shit about like it's violence on women, but it's another woman doing it. It's one powerful woman doing it to another powerful woman. So I think we found a loophole here.
Yeah, exactly. It all works out, but yeah, no. Overall though, like I was full on. I've only watched this one once, but I was full on super impressed with this one. I think this was actually one of the high bar DC movies. I don't know. There's nothing I can really think about. There was no slow moment in it. Had so many characters in it, tons of action.
I might need to watch it again, but I definitely liked it. For me, it's kind of, there's only been like 2 or 3 of these things that made me go, and that was unfortunately
Batman
Ninja, Justice League versus the Fatal 5. Which was really because it was a return to form. It was them that was so disappointing because it was like, oh no, we're going back to Justice League Unlimited. We're going to use characters that were not in that we're going to use like newer characters that didn't really get a whole lot of time. We're going to focus on like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are in there. That's cool. We're going to have like Miss Martian. We're going to focus on Mr. Terrific. We're going to focus on
the fucking
new Green Lantern.
Yeah,
new Green Lantern.
manic depressing Green Lantern.
Which I didn't really know a whole lot about, but okay, new Green Lantern, cool. And then watching it, I'm like, oh, okay.
It was a problems movie, and it was like, oh, this is kind of. I just feel like that was the wrong place for that kind of stuff. Like, I get what you're doing, but like, if you're gonna do a Justice League one, like, make it why we want to be here. Like, don't have like shitty characters that I have to put up with. Fucking Starboy. Yeah. If you're ever gonna try to win me over on Starboy, you're never doing a good job with it.
And recently, I mean, they've had Brian Michael Bendis going on late night talk shows. Like Brian Michael Bendis, who of Ultimate Spider-Man, now he's working at DC, he's working on Action Comics for a little while.
It's like, I'm gonna bring Starboy out.
No, he's like saying like maybe it was him and Jim Lee, but him and maybe somebody else who's pretty big, like we're doing Legion of Superheroes, and we're gonna try and make it big. I love this series and want to try and show what makes a series awesome, and I really think that this is something that people really like. And I'm like, God, dude, you're one of my favorite writers in comics. I mean, I love your run in Ultimate Spider-Man. It helped me get into comics, and I like a lot of the other shit you've written, and I really liked what you did in New Avengers, and Miles Morales is a great character. But why the fuck are you touching Legion of Superheroes, dude? I mean, god damn. I mean, he loves it. I get it. And he always wanted to do it. But I'm like, God, there's nothing. If you wanted me to not care about DC, just do
Legion stuff.
God, yeah. I don't. Maybe who knows? Maybe all it takes is the right book. But whenever they pop into someone else's book, like we're from the 31st century, it's like I don't give a fuck.
My name's Starboy. It's like yeah.
I'm Bouncing Boy. Like all right. I'm Fire Lad. Like all right, Fire. I'm Cosmic, but I don't give a shit. And they're always like teenagers with problems. Like we're here from the future. Like fuck
but problems still exist.
In the future.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fucking care.
We got a statue of Superman over there. Yeah, Billy jerked off on it last night, and I had to clean it up with my tongue. Why?
Why is it like the minimum wage guy from like fucking Simpsons? I'm here somehow.
I don't know, but well, okay, if Legion is something we don't get to look forward to, there is something awesome coming out from the DCU. They're finally doing the Superman Red Sun, and it looks actually fucking full-on awesome. Like,
I can't wait for that one. That one's gonna be awesome.
And that one that looks like they're doing it so good, because it kind of like the downfall, like certain nowadays, every once in a while, is they'll do the thing where like, well, we're gonna do this classic story, but we're gonna give it this twist. And it's like, don't give it a twist. Don't give it. If you're gonna do a classic story, don't give it a twist. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, even though Hush kind of worked out, but that was sort of one of those ones like, you got Hush, you got probably like the ultimate Batman book ever, and then you want to give it a twist. You know what
I get the goal. Even to be fair, I guess even in the book, even as good as it was very obvious it was Tommy Elliott. The only thing that kind of threw you off the scent a little bit was, oh, he dies halfway through, but at the same time, like, oh, well, you also live in a world where Clayface is a character, so.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't mean like a twist like necessarily in the book, but just where they kind of like change something up, where it's like, oh, is that, is that?
I wish it wasn't Riddler, just because I like Hush as his own character, but at the same time, I get why they did it. I mean, narratively, it totally works. It's still a really good movie, but yeah. I really wish that it was somebody else. I wish it was Tommy.
It still works, and then the other thing I think about that one, like, I'm just gonna use that one as my example, is I kind of wish that wasn't like in the Justice League Batman kind of like continual saga. I wish that was just a standalone movie. Like, sort of like what they're doing with the Red Sun one. Like, I think that would have kind of been kind of neat. I mean, once again, it works in what they do it at. And that Hush movie is still good. But it is that kind of thing, like, there's something to be said when I love when they just go full on, like, we're just going to do the book as is. I mean, granted, you're going to have to do, some changes here and there. But, like, I think of, like, stuff like Red Hood. You know what I mean? You pretty much did the book as is. I mean, yeah, you sum it up a little bit more because, you can't do the whole thing. But it pretty much feels just like that. Or Batman Year One. Or, like, this Superman Red Sun. It just looks like they're just doing it, like, as the book is. I mean, it's only 3 thick issues anyway, so might as well just go to town on it.
I'm okay they actually made it take place in the DC animated universe, just because I think that's something that the movie did better than the book. I know that might sound like blasphemy, but I think something it did better was the Catwoman-Batman relationship, which it was just more of like, oh yeah, we're kind of, you might see them having dinner once or twice, and then beyond that, they're doing this crime together. They're doing this crime solving together.
Doing this
while
crime
having
together.
conversations.
Yeah, that's just one of those ones. It was 3:30 in the fucking morning, on a Tuesday night. Nothing was going on. I thought, what the hey? Might as well get into the criminal's head. Let's go do a crime. Let's go rob some shit.
There's a 7-Eleven over there.
Come on, come on. Don't you want a Slurpee and like not pay for it? Like, I've always had money, so it's like I don't know what that experience is like to not pay for something.
I'm just gonna walk in there, grab me one of them Crunchberry Slurpees, make hard eye contact as I walk out the door slowly with this zip-faced kid. See what he does. Is he gonna reach for that little phone? No, he's not. Why? Because I'm fucking Batman.
He'll fucking probably salute me and jerk off at the same time.
I'll stand there and let him finish.
Because it's respectable.
I give back that way.
He's an American citizen, goddammit. He understands his rights.
And when I'm done, I'm going to throw the Slurpee on the ground, say, pick it up, and walk out. Zip line out of there. Outbreak out the window.
Yeah, because Batman don't open doors. He goes through them.
Well, they have automatic doors. You know what the fuck I'm saying. Come on.
I'm fastening the automatic door. Believe me, I practice this at home. I had Alfred set up a whole, 7-Eleven, kind of training room so that whenever this moment happened, I'd be prepared. Because, I didn't want to go into it like empty-handed, you know what I mean? Like, what if I fucking slipped on something? Like, there was a Twinkie on the ground or something like that. I looked like a fucking idiot.
Oh no, scenario 823.
Yeah, me and Alfred, we spent a long time. There was like a 6-month period we spent on this. I know Tim said it was a stupid fucking waste of time and that he grew up pretty much in this time period, but you know what? Fuck it. He's Red Robin now.
Fuck Tim. His dad died. Yeah. I don't give a shit.
Get killed by Captain Boomerang, fucking pussy.
Who gets killed by Captain Boomerang? Bitches.
Shit. The only person I expect to get killed by Captain Boomerang is Captain Boomerang himself. You gotta throw one of those boomerangs and one day he just ain't gonna catch it.
It's gonna come back at him in the fucking face.
But
you should have stayed down under, bitch.
Yeah, where you belong. Down with fucking Crocodile Dundee.
I don't want to go on too long of a tangent, but did they ever bring second Captain Boomerang back, Owen? They ever bring him back, or he stay dead after the whole zombie lantern thing?
God, that is a good question.
Because there's a whole point in like, well, they jumped over to Central City or whatever, and you find out that like he managed to get his zombie dad there, and he had him in a ditch, and he was like tricking people and then shoving in there like, "Don't worry, Dad, I'm gonna get you back to normal. I'm gonna get you back to normal." And then the other Central City rogues find him and like, "Owen, how long have you been doing this? I mean, it's one thing if it's criminals, but like, who have you thrown in there?" And they see there's like been like some teddy bears and whatnot. Like, did you trick kids into going in there? He didn't say anything. And he's like, "Yeah, we do crime, but we don't hurt women. We don't hurt kids." I was just like, push him in there, and that's where fucking he's killed by his own dad. And then later he's resurrected. Captain Boomerang's resurrected. So I'm wondering, did they ever do anything after that? Is that the last time we ever see Owen?
Yeah, that was a good question there for that Captain Boomerang 2 character or whatever.
Because he came in Crisis, because that's the whole subplot. Like, he's like, "Oh, I'm a wash up, and I got a beer gut." I actually like Beer Gut Boomerang. I like him more when he looks all fucking haggard. Not when he's like an in-shape guy who looks kind of like Matthew McConaughey. I like him more when he's just like got a beer gut, he's balding, and he's just struggling to get by. Something about that Captain Boomerang just sticks out to me.
No, I agree. I like that one a lot too. I think that's the way to go. I wish there was more Captain Boomerang in life. I always liked that character.
Yeah. All right, go on. Sorry, so I dragged that out longer than I wanted to. I was just curious about if there's anything ever happened with Owen. But yeah.
Well, DCU crap galore to look forward to, I guess, as always. And yeah, Red Sun looks awesome, and I'm just glad it looks just like they're doing it like 100%. Like they're not gonna try to fucking weasel in some weird like. Not that it happens that often, but just like it's just nice when they just say, let's just do it as the book is. You know what I mean? Because there's, I don't know who they're always trying to like make stuff for when they're trying to change it from the book. It's like, you know what I mean? Like the people that read the book want the book to be the same. And then the people who didn't read the book, well, they're just going to fucking watch it anyway. So might as well just keep the story as is. But yeah.
Depending on the story, I'm okay if they change it. It just depends on the story. Because like, okay, well, you're surprising me with something. But then something like Dark Knight Returns, that's something like, it's kind of hard to imagine this another way. Or Year One. So I could see them actually doing, because apparently the new Batman movie coming out by Matt Reeves, that's taken a lot of inspiration from Long Halloween. So before that movie comes out, like in 20 or 21, I could see them doing a Long Halloween movie.
Yeah, I could see them doing that too. Kind of prep them up for that and everything like that too. But
especially since that has Mad Hatter in it, and apparently Mad Hatter is going to be apparently the new one coming out. Whenever it comes out, it's going to have like the ones they're clear about is Penguin, Riddler, Mad Hatter, Two-Face, and Catwoman, and it's a whodunit.
Yeah, that'll be interesting when that comes out. I look forward to all that good stuff. But yeah, beyond that, go check out those movies. We'll put some links in like the description down there, make it easy to find. Go to oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, cartoons, comics like Pizza Boys with a Z. Till then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And we'll see you some other time.
Later, folks.
Thanks again for listening to the Old Man Orange podcast. Sure, check out oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, cartoons, music, animation, and a whole lot more.
We also have the Old Man Orange blog going with all kinds of fun stuff. If you easily want to support the show, use one of our Amazon links either on the website or in the description of the podcast below. Rate, review, and subscribe to the show either on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Newgrounds, or anywhere else that you seem to get this podcast from. Grab the sitcom-styled comic book Pizza Boys on either Comix Central, Comixology, or Amazon. Want more podcasts? Check out the Indie Comics Club over at Comix Central. I also got a workout website called Thor's Hidden Gym, filled with fitness tips and tricks, videos, and a whole lot more fun stuff in the calisthenics world. Talk to us on Twitter at Spencer S. Holmes and Dunigan Ryan. Like our Facebook pages of Old Man Orange Productions and Pizza Boys Comic. Thanks again, we're out of here.